Thank you very much, Mr. Lavasa. You very eloquently talked about the democratic backslide in our country. The institutions that are supposed to act as guardrails, that are supposed to ensure that democracy functions and it functions for the people. And what we've always read, democracies of the people, by the people, for the people, it actually happens. You talked about how those very institutions are in many cases letting us down today. The Election Commission of India, of course, is no exemption, no exception. The leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, recently made some very serious allegations. As I was sitting there and I was listening to you, and I was thinking of what we all thought when we heard those allegations in the 3 press conferences that he made. He talked about vote chori, and in the most recent press conference, he talked about election chori. He said, Haryana mein to itni vote chori hui that out of 2 crore voters, 25 lakh voters were found to be fake, either duplicate or bulk voters at one address, all sorts of things, which basically means 1 out of every 8 voter in Haryana was alleged to be fake. All these allegations, I think to most citizens, we thought that the Election Commission of India will jump into action. The Election Commission of India will immediately call a meeting of all political parties. That's the least that could have been expected from a body that is supposed to conduct free and fair elections. We had thought that they would do an all-party meeting. They'll ask for all the evidence which the leader of opposition put forth in those press conferences, and will take on that evidence and order inquiries. I mean, that's the most basic thing that an institution that's supposed to oversee elections should have done. And we know the election commissioner, the chief election commissioner, has told us that the election commission has only 800 people. So these massive machinery is actually coming from the government where the elections are being held. It is so important that immediate accountability should have been ensured. If all of these allegations, or even part of them, that the leader of opposition made were in fact true, heads should have rolled. The Election Commission must have shown to the people that it is serious about holding free and fair elections. What did we see? The Election Commission said, why did you not speak earlier? The Election Commission said, since you did not speak earlier and you are choosing to speak now, give us what you are saying on an affidavit. It wasn't enough that all of these allegations, all of this data was put in the public domain in a press conference, asked for an affidavit and said, if you don't give the affidavit, we will not start any action. In fact, the leader of opposition should publicly apologize. How is this anything that we expect of a constitutional body which is acting in a fair manner? एक निष्पक्ष रूप से अगर हम सोचते हैं कि हमारा चुनाव आयोग काम कर रहा है तो. And I think what you said, Mr. Lavasa, to me, the biggest takeaway is that democracy is too precious for us to leave to any institution. And I think it's very important that the citizens of the country take up the mantle. Today, we are unfortunately not in the position where we can sit back and say that, look, the referee is doing their job. The appointment of the Election Commission, we know how it is being made. Despite clear Supreme Court orders saying that a balanced committee should appoint election commissioners, the government immediately brought a law to say no, we will not have the Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition and Chief Justice in this election committee. We will replace the Chief Justice with the Union Cabinet Minister. So we have the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, and the Leader of Opposition, 2:1. So preponderance of the ruling party again appointing election commissioners. And we are seeing how the election commissioners are functioning. From selective action that you talked about, which you so bravely dissented while you were within the commission, to what we are seeing today. So I thought that it would probably be useful if I took my 5-10 minutes to really think about and to kind of throw up some ideas on what we as citizens need to do to be able to ensure that electoral democracy doesn't slip away from our hands. May 2024 elections, for the first time, the Election Commission of India did not give absolute number of voter turnout. Absolutely shocking. It's such a simple figure we are asking for. We are saying how many people went out to vote in the May 2024 general elections. We were only given, belatedly, we were given percentages. And at the time of closing of poll on day of voting, the percentage that was given, there was an unprecedented increase of 7%, 8%, 9%. In Odisha, even 30% when the final voter turnout came. So if we are being told 60% people voted on the time of close of polling, on the day of voting, we were told 68% people voted finally. 8% increase. In Odisha, 30% increase. People are asking a simple question, and that's what we need to keep doing. To say, give us absolute numbers. These percentages will not do. And it's not rocket science. Form 17C, which is filled at every polling station, every polling booth, by the presiding officer there, has Form 17, the returning officer fills Form 17C, which says how many people came to vote, how many actually cast their vote, and how many votes, the number of times the EVM was pressed. These three things are there in Form 17C. The Election Commission of India is refusing to give Form 17C to the people of India. What is the secrecy? What is there to hide? After all, if there are these large increases in voter turnout, it suggests booth capturing, booth stuffing. Why can't people satisfy themselves by checking what the voter turnout was that was registered in Form 17C? It's been more than 1 year. The May 2024 elections, even till date, we don't have the absolute figures as per Form 17C, which is the only statutory form which gives the absolute figures. Till date, citizens of India don't have those figures. On 24th December 2024, the Election Commission gave out what they called a treasure trove of information. And they said, here are the absolute figures. But when we went to click on those absolute figures, they first said, please read and sign the disclaimer. This is not as per Form 17C. Why? And what is the Election Commission saying? We give it to the booth agents, the polling agents of candidates. In the Supreme Court, the Election Commission said, as far as Form 17C is concerned, there is a one-to-one relationship between the polling agent and Form 17C. There is nothing that the polling agent that can't be given out. I mean, the polling agent is not signing any oath and saying, I will not make this public. What is this one-to-one relationship? And why should only polling agents be allowed, or these candidates, agents be only allowed to take these Form 17Cs? Elections in India are not held for candidates. They are not held for polling agents. They are not held for political parties. They are held for the people of India. Why are we not being given this important piece of information? Bihar first phase of elections took place on the 6th of November. We are today on the 12th of November. The Election Commission is yet to declare absolute figures of voter turnout. I think we need to put complete public pressure on the Election Commission to say we will not tolerate this. Why should absolute figures not be given? In today's day and age of digital India and AI and everything that we are told, why can't Form 17Cs be uploaded? What is so secret? What is so difficult about it? The second thing, Maharashtra elections that took place, 70 lakh people came to vote after the time of polling had finished. So after 5 o'clock, the Election Commission tells us that 70 lakh people came to vote. Fine. People want to verify. They want to know that, can you please show us the CCTV camera footage so we can actually see how long the lines were. Applications were filed to say, please give us CCTV camera footage. The presiding officer's diary has the number of coupons that are given to people who are waiting in queue, because you can't just go after 5 o'clock and start voting. You have to be there at that time. At that time, coupons are given out, and the presiding officer's diary has that noted, how many coupons were given out. People asked for the presiding officer's diary. The Election Commission of India has refused to give the presiding officer's diary, has refused to give the CCTV camera footage. The Chief Election Commissioner, of course, came out and reminded us how the Bahu Beti's privacy will be harmed if they give out the CCTV footage. I mean, how many women sitting here consented to CCTV cameras being there? So if you can take our footage, you can put out these photographs saying, successful elections, so many women came to vote, and put out their photographs. Why, when we are asking for accountability, there is the privacy of Bahus and Betis that becomes so important? In the Haryana elections, the H files that the leader of opposition talked about, after the Haryana elections, way before the leader of opposition talked about all of these things, many people went and asked for CCTV camera footage, Form 17C and presiding officer's diary. The Election Commission said, we will not give it. The matter went to the Punjab and Haryana High Court. The High Court said, of course you have to give it. Conduct of election rules, Rule 93(2) requires you to give information that's supposed to be given under that. The Election Commission, instead of giving the information, went to the central government and changed the conduct of election rules, Rule 93(2). So that today, under those rules, we cannot ask any more for CCTV camera footage and other documents. Many of us, Ashok ji is here, many other friends have also filed RTI requests and requests under the conduct of election rules. And we have asked for Form 17C. I went for an appeal recently, and I was told that the Election Commission has given directions beyond the law, the Representation of People's Act, beyond the conduct of election rules, to say Form 17C can't be given. CCTV footage we can't have anymore. I think what we are seeing here is an absolute and abject denial of people's right to information and the desire to not be accountable to people. Why can't we have searchable voter lists? We were told that the same photograph appeared in many places. They were duplicate names that were there on the voter lists. Today, if you go to the Election Commission website, it does not have any photographs. It's not searchable, the voter lists. Most of the voter lists are not searchable. When we are asking the Election Commission to do that, the Chief Election Commissioner says, no, we can't do it, because if it is a searchable, machine-readable voter list, somebody might change the photograph of one person to another place, and when they go to vote, they will not be able to vote. What logic is that? If I play around on my personal computer with the voter list, how will it change the voter list on the Election Commission server? I mean, we are being fed complete, absolute, unbelievable things, and we are expected in a democracy to believe that. What is so secret about a searchable voter list with photographs? When we were shown the same photograph by the leader of opposition, and we were told that this is the same woman whose photo has been used 223 times, many of us went to the Election Commission website. No, there are no photographs. So there is no way we could have verified. So when the Election Commission is told that the voter list is faulty, there is vote chori, what is the response of the Election Commission? It says it doesn't matter. Voter lists are not important. Did those people go to vote or not? That is important. You will not give us the CCTV camera so that we can verify whether they went to vote or not. You will not give us presiding officers' diaries. You will not give us photographs. But you want us to prove that those people went or didn't go. And you are saying that voter lists are not important? Electoral fraud only happens when we prove that somebody went or not. Then what is the fuss about SIR? You can't have it both ways. You can't tell us when it suits you that voter lists are so important that 100 crore voters of our country have to go and prove their citizenship, have to go through hoops to get documents to prove that they can vote and be on the voter list. But when it suits you, you say, voter lists, that's not important. First, prove to me whether those people actually went to vote or not. Duplicate names doesn't matter. So please decide. Is the voter list, does it count or it doesn't? I think what we need and what we are seeing is that the very institution that was meant to ensure that electoral democracy works for us is, in fact, completely reluctant to be accountable to the people of the country. And what Mr. Lavasa said, that सबसे बड़ा सरोकार, I always remember that, Mr. Lavasa, you've said that many times, that election commission का सरोकार तो लोगों से होता है, किसी political party से नहीं है, लोगों से है, जनता से है. The election commission seems to be forgetting that. The election commission seems to be telling us that it is not our business as citizens to ask questions, to get election records, to have any transparency. We don't have the right to information. And they are completely showing their reluctance in being accountable to us, the people of India. I think it'll be a fitting tribute to Sunilji if we can all decide today that in whatever way that we can, we will demand accountability and we will ask questions, because like I said, democracy is too precious for us to leave to any institution. Thank you.